So what is programming? Programming is all about finding a need or solving a particular problem. You'll usually want to write a program for users that's either going to help them do something or allow them to play a game or in some way make life easier for them or more fun with the help of a computer or a device. In order for that to happen, we have to tell the computer exactly what we want it to do. So the code that you see that make up computer programs are called statements or instructions that are going to tell the computer exactly what to do. And that is what we need to do, is to learn how to write these instructions properly so that the computer understands exactly what's needed. Computers are not smart by themselves. It's the computer programmers, the people that write the code that runs on the computers, that will allow the computers to do amazing things. The computer is only as good as the code that it runs, and we write the code. We are to blame if the program does not run properly. Computers don't do anything without someone telling them what to do. We have to tell them every detailed steps before they're going to understand. It's like writing a to-do list, and that will be followed precisely. And you can't assume the computer knows anything ahead of time. For example, say you enjoy making chocolate chip cookies and you have a favorite recipe that you use. You follow the recipe carefully and the cookies will turn out tasting great. Perhaps you have a friend who has never baked in their life, and maybe they've never even made food. Someone has always cooked for them, I guess. If you hand them the recipe that you use, they may not understand what it means. They might ask, what is 1 cup, and is that a heaping scoop or a level scoop? What does the 375 degrees mean? How do I turn on the oven? How do I set the temperature? How do I open the door? When I add an egg, do I have to crack it first, or can I just throw it in, shell and all? We'll assume this friend is like the computer. They really don't understand anything by themselves. We're really going to have to give our friends some really super detailed instructions if we want them to make these good tasting cookies that we make. Usually, most people will have a basic understanding of baking, and we assume they know how to measure ingredients, add eggs, and turn on the oven, get a mixing bowl out, etc. But you can't assume anything with a computer. They need to be given very specific instructions because it has to be told everything. Let's have another example. When you give directions to your house, for example, you will generally tell a friend, go north on Yellowstone Highway, turn right on First Street, turn left on at the second light, and I'm the second house on the right. But the computer, if it was getting instructions, would need to know exactly how far it would drive down the highway. How far to the right do I turn? Do I turn 40 degrees, 60 degrees? When you say light, do you mean street light or traffic light? What do I do when I get to the second house? Do I turn into the driveway? When I'm in the driveway, do I park? Do I honk the horn? Do I gun the engine? So unless you specify everything you want your friend, in this case, but the computer, in our case, to do and exactly how to do it, the computer just won't do what we want it to do. And perhaps you guys have seen on YouTube, you can look up exact instructions, peanut butter and jelly. So these are people who are making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich by strictly following the exact instructions from people and not assuming that you know anything about it. And they're pretty funny. So look up exact instructions, peanut butter and jelly on YouTube, and there's some examples there if you want to look at those. We're going to do our own exact instruction challenge using socks. So here's our scenario. Let us say we have a drawer full of socks that are not paired together. Some have a matching sock with them in the same drawer and some don't. And I want someone to end up with a matching pair of socks on their feet at the end. So we're going to write out some instructions on how they should proceed with this. So we're going to have this sock challenge. And in the next video, we will explore what those instructions might look like. But before you watch, have someone try out your instructions exactly, how you have written them, and see if the logic actually works.